Hello, now we are live.
Okay, so let's wait for a few more people and then we'll start the session. We'll just wait for 2 more minutes and then we'll start the session. Okay, so good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to the fifth day of ML Bootcamp. And my name is Pratibha Rawat. I am chapter lead of GIRLSCRIPT Chandigarh. So I welcome you all. So I would like to thank all of you for being with us on the fifth day of this AIML bootcamp, and I thank you for being so patient and dedicated for this bootcamp. So now I would like to welcome our speaker, Mr. Anustup Mukherjee, and I would also like to remind all of you that do fill the feedback form. The link is in the description box, and yeah, once you fill the feedback form, we'll provide you the certificates within 1 week. So over to you, Mr.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for the warm welcome and everything for arranging this all. So today, yeah, it's the last day of this 5 days journey, and yeah, today we'll be simply forwarding the career guidelines, resume making, how to proceed, and all that kind of things. The important parts, right? Like how after this boot camp, how will be proceeding your upcoming days with machine learning and all, which will be helping you to lead with a particular career, right? So and yeah, today is completely a question based session. Like you can ask any type of query to me, right? So open to queries from the very first of the session today. So before like coming to the queries and handling with some kind of questions, so again I will start with sharing my screen. Yeah, so hope you guys have enjoyed this entire session. So let me start with some career guidelines. So yeah, so I guess my screen is properly visible to everyone. So yes, like just little recap what we have learned in this 5 days, or what we have learned in the previous session is again a machine learning mantra, how to train or how to deal with any type of ML based problem, whether it is a problem coming from computer vision domain, whether it is a coming that is the problem that is coming from any natural language processing domain or any domain. We understood what is a mantra or machine learning, more precisely it is an AI mantra, right? How to handle or how to tackle this kind of software based artificial intelligence, right? So that we learned. So what is this mantra all about? First, when you are coming across any problem, analyze it, do some explorations, extract out the features, choose a proper algorithm by the help of a best matching, pick up an algorithm and simply train it up and test your accuracy. If it is going less, increasing up, right? We have gone through several types of algorithms: linear regression, logistic regression, decision tree, SVM, KNN, CNN, convolutional neural network from the side of the deep learning. Also, we have seen some kind of insights from principal component analysis, PCA. We have come across a couple of terms, couple of concepts, and couple of theories. We have came across some kind of open projects, as well as we came across the computer vision library, OpenCV. So this is all about. So now I guess everyone's mind is speaking about a question like how to start after this 5 days, because this 5 days is supposed to be a like boot camp, means a boosting your knowledge or whatever you don't know, give a quick through analysis of the entire topic, right? So yeah, so how to start after this boot camp, or how to start a complete thing or complete journey with the thing. So before I will be speaking about entire opportunities, what kind of opportunities are there in machine learning field, where you can apply and where machine learning can relate you all about. But before that, I want to give you a planner. What is this planner is all about? Yeah, this planner is all about how to know this machine learning field, because what I found or what kind of problems I found with the students, if you are only coming across the basic algorithms, and if you are simply focusing it, that means you have devoted a month on machine learning and you have covered some algorithms, like maybe it is linear, logistic, decision tree, SVM, random forest, KNN, and etc., other basic models. You know how to implement CNN and all, right? Now you are feeling confident, okay, I can solve a problem. And now you are stopping to learn it and applying for internships, stopping to learn and applying for internship, right? So this is a very wrong way to learn, to know it or to learn it, because it means you are having a precise knowledge. If I am giving you a model, or if I am giving you a problem and a problem demands something else, suppose the model you are using, it is not fixing or fitting with your accuracy, if it is demanding something else, then you cannot be so much of flexible. So what, when you are coming in machine learning, means when you are coming in entire artificial intelligence, it means it is not confiscated and bound, right? It is something beyond the bounds, because it is some coding again a supernatural thing into a natural. So you have to make yours flexible. I don't know like if for the Android web, but yeah, for machine learning, I can tell like you have to be flexible. Now, I will be giving you a plan how to become a flexible ML developer, right? So for that, just you have to start again by like the way approach I told. Like first, you have to fix up with your programming language, that is Python. Now many questions, like many students used to feel like, why not R, why not MATLAB? This is a common question to students, because MATLAB is like so much of developed, like many of the field we see MATLAB, okay, MATLAB is specifically designed for data science and machine learning purposes. So because why I'm not, why we don't tell, because you might feel like R and MATLAB is also on the on terms of syntax and on terms of defining, as well as in terms of library, it is very easy, even a very less labor is required. But why we don't tell it, or why we don't tell it at a very first blow? Because in the case of MATLAB, if you know as a MATLAB, it's okay, but when you are coming into production, first thing is production. Because whatever you have to create your project, remember one thing, whenever you are making a project, the project doesn't means you have written a backend script only or a simple ML script only. It means a full stack thing. It is a project, a complete project. That means whatever things I have shown you, that means maybe it is an object tracker. The object tracker is having an UI, you have a GUI, right? Maybe it is a weather prediction app. It is also having a GUI. That means it is a complete project. So in that case, R and MATLAB doesn't give you that kind of compatibility. First thing. Second thing, you know MATLAB is very good, but you cannot access the software where you need to code it up, because it is a paid software, highly paid software. And yeah, if you know MATLAB, you will be telling, okay, I can side parse with the GNU Octave, like a brother of MATLAB. Okay. But yeah, okay, you can go for GNU at the octave, but yeah, again the question and the problem comes in the production scalability in that kind of things. So what is the next? So we will be only landing into pi, because at production level everyone uses pi still let, right? Because our production with the R models is still in a development phase, because still in a development phase there is a, if you are coming from programming language that is R background, and you want to make any app out of R, then you have to use the platform that is called as the Shiny. It is called as a Shiny R app. So you can learn it because it is a very new skills, and hoping it to be the next generation or upcoming generation. Because already I want to give an example of which company is using R at its backend. So for an example, if you are applying or if you are trying to contribute in open source at Facebook's repository, suppose you are trying to contribute anything at Facebook's machine learning repository only, then you will be coming across the developed model of the Facebook or the special algorithm of the Facebook that is more into prediction, classification, and that kind of things. That is FB Prophet. So FB Prophet used to is the R dependency. It is completely dependent on R. So yeah, in that cases, R is the most developed and most successful case of that is, I guess, FB Prophet in sense of algorithm. Otherwise, Pi supports everything. And then also have the Python implications. But yeah, Python is a more and more flexible language. So you have to Pi first. And now the question comes, I am an absolute beginner. What things you need to know in Pi to learn to get into machine learning? Do you know the complete DS algo? Do you have to know the complete structures, complete every entire thing? So at very initial level, if you want to start, because some things there, like you cannot learn the entire thing at a very start. Like what happens is also in our case, when we started our journey in school life, when we started our journey, we little know about only ABCD and number theory or simply and unnumbered lines. As soon as the class went on and on, we kept learning the things. Also this happens in our learnings also. So specifically when you are starting your journey in machine learning, remember one thing: you can make your logics. Your brain can think, at least think about logic. And if you are creating a logic, can you code that logic? Maybe it is not the shortest way. Maybe your code is having a huge sort of time complexity, space complexities, many kind of complexities are present over your code. But can you code your logic? These two things. And the third most important thing you need to out of Python is the obviously objects, etc. Class structure, functions, how to define that particular functions. Yeah, what you another thing, at least know there are 4 data structures in Python. How to define that kind of thing and why we define it. Because most of the cases when we study DSA in our school, in our college days, we used to study it for the placement purposes either, or just simply mark it up. I seen most of the students. But DSA is actually something we use in every field of development, right? Now the question comes, why many of the people says, like, if you want to fetch any data out of the database, if you are creating any fetch API, you have to use proper data structure. Yeah, that things are very important. But yes, but to me, how to make a student understand why DSA is important to you, or why you need to know DSA logically, not something mugging it up. It's simply all about, like, you want to store water. You are having a water somewhere and you want to store it. So obviously you will be bringing a bottle or a glass to store the particular water. You will be not bringing something a square shaped or a rectangular shaped box, right, or a jar, big jar. You will be not bringing that kind of or containers. You will be bringing a simple bottle or a single glass, right? So why your brain say to bring a bottle to pour some kind of water? Because your brain knows this will be the perfect fit. And this is the power of actually data structures and algorithms. Not the algorithm part, the power of data structures, right? So why we know, at least need to know DS, because we need to define the data, we have to play with the data, and we need to know how to at least pass the data in a computational flow. That thing actually we are doing machine learning. So in Python there are specifically 4 things: tuple, dictionary, arrays, right? So you have to know this kind of things, at least know how to define it and why, how they are different from each other. In most of the cases, students study data structures and algorithms. They doesn't know what is the difference in between array and linked list. It is a very common definition. Or what is the difference in between a stack and queue. This kind of, there are fine definitions. There are fine differences. The differences is not again marking it up completely. Just think when you are also learning DSA, just think a real life example and try to put the two concepts. Try to put the two concepts in it. Automatically, you will be getting answers. The same thing also, if you how tuple is different from dictionary, how arrays are different from tuples, you need to know the difference. If you know the difference about the DS, and if you know the things like how to implement it, that means how to write one for the curly bracket, another for the single hand bracket, that kind of things. Only the game of brackets in Python, only the game of brackets, game of commas, and game of some kind of little indentation in Python. So yeah, you are done to fly. You are set to fly. All set to fly. Now the question comes in everyone's mind. Python is again a very big thing, right? So how can we just have this kind of cluster of logic or this kind of only basic part or most important part? Then I always refer, if you're a beginner, don't hype to any bigger platforms. Go for only basic and basic tutorials point and refer a simple YouTube tutorial. That will be overdone enough. And if in the YouTube tutorial, I also refer for some sites like Codewit, Harry, etc., etc. There are sites. May anyone have any choice? I'm not speaking about that, but yeah, for a basic learning material, go for tutorials point only. That will be overdone enough for to fly or for to start, and at least practice some basic questions. You're done with the Python. Yeah, I am not telling this is the only and only thing. There are many deep things will be coming, but yeah, that you can at least understand when you will be working, right? When you will be working, how you will be learning it, I will be speaking it later. So this is the first thing, hoping that anyone can complete it, because as per my experience from my students, they have completed it in the 2 weeks, generally in the 2 weeks. No, when just take a planner of 2 weeks, I will be in the Python part and coding some basic questions, right? The next thing, because one thing I want to share, because why Python will be helping you, or why logic building more than syntax knowing is important, why logic building in Python as if in a programming language. Because when I appeared for the code jam last year, last year, so I appeared up to round 2. Specifically, I was disqualified after round 2, obviously I want to tell, but yeah, I qualified up to round 2. So up to my experience, up to round 2, I'm also not a competitive programmer, but somehow I can qualify up to round 2. But maybe by it was completely logical for platform. That's why. So in code jam also, you have to write, or you have to concentrate on your algorithm mainly. And for the algorithm, whatever syntaxes, whatever things you are doing, that there are some time complexity there and everything that you can handle later also. But a very basic extracted thing is the algorithm you have to make out. Right. So this is the very thing. Like there may be other competitive programmers who might be knowing well more, right? Well and enough more, right? Because every developers have several point of views. It is from my point of view. So first 2 weeks go for Py in from tutorial point, etc. So when you are done with the Py part, you are done with this kind of Python knowing part. Now don't jump into a bigger thing, because you cannot achieve it. Because how much you try, you can achieve a bigger thing into a short span of time. Suppose you are investing in share market, as if you cannot win a very big amount, you can get return of a very big amount in a short time. The same thing is also in this case specifically. A single YouTube tutorial cannot help you. It is a series wise process. So what will be the next step? It is the first 2 week I'm writing here. So what is the next step? What is the very next step after this? Is libraries. Libraries means whatever library I have shown you guys: NumPy, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Pandas, Skippy. At least go with this basic 4 to 5 libraries. You are known with that. It is 1 week work at least to study and implement it. Now question comes, what I can implement using NumPy? You can play with matrix. That means you can do the matrix multiplication by using NumPy in Python. That kind of short things can implement, and that will make you learn. I used to tell, like, devote a week in NumPy, Panda, Matplotlib, etc. So suppose your week 1 target is to know the basic package NumPy for N, Matplotlib for M, Pandas for P, and Skippy for S, and SE for Seaborn. These 5 things you need to know. So when you are done, so what things? Now again question comes, how will I learn it? Don't go again and mug up the things. When you are coming to NumPy, I have shown you that site numpy.org. Come to their site, see their examples, or come to simple GitHub. At least see the example and try to implement some basic mathematical functions like matrix multiplication, matrix addition, this kind of things. Now again, the same logic for matplotlib. Try to play with several kind of plots. In this way, you have to know the entire thing. So again, plus one, 3 weeks you are spent with this kind of thing. Sometimes it might be boring because what kind of motivation we used to have in our daily, like we used to be very indulged. Also, I have seen in engineering specifically, 99% of the people are over LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very good for professional networking, but yeah, again in LinkedIn you can see several good projects. So it sometimes it happened in my case also, when we see someone other developing a very good project out of machine learning or anything else, and if I'm interested in the same field, I also feel like I want to develop it, and I also want to have that kind of appreciation. So yeah, if you want to have that kind of appreciation, so you will be having, but first you have to do some kind of homework, and that you are doing right now. So 1 week is done with that. Next thing is like, when you are done with this, after that this kind of thing you have done with the implementation, in the very next week, that is the in the fourth week of your learning, you can go with a very basic project. That means you are not implementing an algorithm. A single Python libraries are present. For an example, GTTS, Google Text to Speech. You have to only write 4 to 5 lines of Python code by importing the library GTTS to convert text to speech. If you want to make any kind of GTTS is a library, right? GTTS, Google Text to Speech, Python library. Next thing is that TKnator, TKnator, right? It is used for making the Python GUIs. Okay, there is another Python library that converts HTML to any code. So to know the power of Python libraries, you can refer a repository called as the Python Gigs at GitHub. This repository I also have contributed at their repository last month, Python Gigs. You can refer their repositories at Intern at GitHub. It will be showing you many type of projects that is based on a single Python library. They are not using the power of machine learning. In the very next week, that is your fourth week, implement projects by using the power of this kind of libraries, not any algorithm. Suppose maybe it is plotting any data, maybe it is converting text to speech or speech to text, the reverse manner. You have another package is there, SACP, that is for the reverse order, right? Reverse order for the GTTS, that kind of things. So this, now you are handy at the start. And also another library you need to know in this, in the meantime, is a scalar, right? So your 1 month planner is done. After this 1 month, you can start with the algorithm specifically. So algorithms, again, I guess out of this bootcamp, you guys know how to start with algorithms. In the very next month, that is in your fifth week, in this fifth week, start with algorithm. So you will be your next month will be differentiated into 4 weeks, 5, 6, 7, and 8, your 4 weeks, right? So you have to make a very basic planner of this particular 4 weeks. Like in the first week, I will be implementing 3 algorithm. Sixth week, 3 algorithm. Seventh week, 3 algorithm. Eighth week, 3 algorithm. But the problem statement for the entire month will be same, or maybe I can at least change the problem statement for once. If you want, you can change it for once or twice, but don't change it every day. Let go today image classification, tomorrow any other detection. That will not lead you to learn anything, that will lead you destruction, right? Because like these things I have seen, I don't know, maybe it works for everyone, but as per my experience, I am speaking like this thing I have seen in the students. So this is the thing. So next, the thing is like, now you have, supposed you have picked up a problem with prediction problem, any problem in the prediction domain. So now just choose the first 3 algorithm of your week. Now the question come, which algorithm to know first. So if you go to Google, best algorithm to know, they will be speaking for the advanced algorithms. So what is the best algorithm? Again, proceed from basics. So basics is again regression. So first 3 weeks, don't worry if you don't only know regression. It is also enough. Linear logistic KNN. For suppose first week, generally linear regression, logistic regression, KNN. So out of these three algorithms, what you can implement a little prediction problem. You go for this implementation and learning for the first 4 or 5 days of the week. At the end of the week, when your week will getting to end, you will be checking how these three algorithms is performing on a same model or a same problem. That means your problem is COVID-19 prediction for a week, and in this week you are implementing three different types of models in the same problem. At the end of the week, you will be getting a result sheet, which model performed how much. So that will be giving you a clear vision idea. Whatever may be my problem type, I know about the complexity, and I know about the individual powers of algorithm. Just just analyze the report that you're getting maybe in the Saturday and the Sunday by the performance report of the algorithms. So devote, suppose generally I don't know, generally sometimes student used to cover one algorithm for a week. Maybe I seen some students covering 3 or 4 algorithms a week. That is up to you, up to your power and the time of devotion again. So yes, this thing you have to do for at least a machine learning and computer vision, at least for 2 months, at least for 2 months. Computer vision, again, this is for ML, I am telling. And for computer vision, when you are done with the ML model, step by step, don't do some kind of chow mein of ML and OpenCV or ML or computer vision. You are done with ML, okay. Okay, one month, suppose after the 1 month you're analyzing, I know 10 algorithms, machine learning only and only machine learning algorithms. Okay, be happy with this. Now proceed to the next step, OpenCV. Implement several, there are several types of projects in OpenCV. Now how I will start OpenCV and how I will be getting project ideas? This is a very common question in students. So for that, I want to show you a site, my image search. You can come to their site of image search. Their code base is actually free to use, and you will be getting a detailed explanation of each and everything. It is specifically designed for OpenCV learning, right? You will be having tutorial and you will be having this kind of thing. So I generally prefer, and I generally tell students, devote a month only for image search. You will be knowing most of OpenCV, because PyImage search is the blogs of PyImage search is written in such a manner because they are given a detailed explanation along with the problem statement, along with the step-by-step code implementation. So that will be helping. Try to make at least 10 to 15 projects by PyImage search. Now, many of the students tell like implementing the projects learning alone is very tiresome thing. I will be telling how to gain some short-term motivation out of this. First, understand the planner. So at your third month, you are simply done with the knowing PyImage search. Then in the same planner, you have to follow for deep learning as if. Don't go deeper of deep learning. Concentrate on the logics of deep learning, because you cannot know all the models at a single time. What is important, the deep, is the approach of the models, approach of the problem. For that, I again tell Pioneer Search also gives some kind of tutorials. You can go at Medium. I have seen simply search for CNN projects Medium. That's the way I have learned. Typical. I'm simply telling my learning way. Maybe anyone having a different approach, right? So simply go for Medium CNN projects Medium. It will be giving you a list of many projects, implemented projects with a clear vision idea. So yeah, go for Medium, learn the things, and devote a month. So after this 4 months of journey, you know OpenCV, you know deep, you know machine, you know basics of everything. You know what you mainly know: how to deal the complex cases, how to make logics, how to deal with projects, and how to create a solution. These 4 things, you know. When you are done with these 4 things, or when you are done with this 4 things of knowing, I used to tell this type of learning is a point only. Why I will be telling point coming to later on. So yeah, you know these 4 things: but how to create logic, how to approach and solve with the complexity, how to like approach any problem and solve it out, what algorithm performs well, this kind of things, you know. Now start making your own projects. Now pick up a project problem, because don't again jump out into the higher things. So pick up a project. For an example, your project that you are, pick up a project of any choice. For an example, I am giving. Now your project is street signboard detection. Suppose you are in a car and you want to detect the signboard that is present on a street. You want to detect it. There is a number in the signboard. Suppose 123. You want to detect that particular number. So you have now go to internet at your fifth month. Go to internet, right? Go to internet. You will be seeing many solutions to the problem. Try to at least learn. Try to at least learn their implementation from a GitHub code, or from a Medium blog, and try to learn it. Now pick up any of approach and try to implement it, or pick up your approach and try to implement it. Now don't stop. You are seeing an accuracy, you are seeing a result. Okay, you are seeing a result. When your result is coming, keep on cross-checking your result with several other algorithms. No matter, first try with the algorithm you know, then try out for some new algorithm. For an example, this is a problem from OpenCV. You have first tried to solve it by OpenCV, but the result is not satisfactory. Now try CNN on this. Again, the result is not satisfactory. Now try a next algorithm. Now you searched over internet what are the other number detection algorithm in computer vision. You have come across an algorithm that is called OCR. There are several brothers of OCR, STN OCR, attention OCR, CRNN OCR, DRNN OCR, RCNN OCR, etc. There. Try any one of the OCR. And there is also Keras OCR. It is very user friendly. Keras OCR. Pick any OCR, try to implement it. Again, you are telling no, I want more better result. Again, go back to internet, try with another algorithm. Suppose this time you failed. Okay, this time I will be not using any computer vision algorithm. This time let us try with a deep learning algorithm. Suppose this time internet is telling you go for AlexNet, but you don't know how to implement AlexNet. Now go to GitHub, search for AlexNet implemented project. You will be getting any good project repository. See the how the person implemented it. Don't copy the person's code, right? How the person implemented it. Install dependencies if you are working in operating system or in collab. There are also some dependencies to install. Likewise, whatever platform you're coding, the platform is different man to man. So I'm not talking about the platform. Like make your operating system coding platform ready accordingly, and again try to implement that algorithm on your problem. This is the how, and this is the thing you need to carry out throughout the way of your learning, and then come in the projects part. This is all about learning. Now you learned, now you are doing what? You are brushing your learning. This is all about the learning part. This is the way we learn. Okay, and more you will be learning, then you will be coming across that kind of things that is called TensorFlow, PyTorch, that you implement. It all comes under the learning process. But I told you how to set fly, and from fifth month, the strategy of the fifth month, I told you can fly by your own. That's it. So up to this, any query? Just let me check. Okay, I will be explaining all kind of queries at the end. Let me tell about the projects now. Then from fifth month, you are searching on internet and trying to implement your projects and all kind of things. So now the thing, just a second. So now the thing that comes to your mind, what kind of projects I can make all about, or what kind of things, or what kind of projects I can make all about, or how to come out the project. So again, see, project making, there is no such specific definition to project making to me as well, and I find this question to be very lame question. Like, tell me about some projects and what can I implement. It's completely about your choice, it's completely about your dream. But a general pipeline I used to give to students is find your interest domain. Suppose in your school days you felt interest in medical, that means biology. You felt interested in biology, then you can use the power of artificial intelligence is in the to detect in the field of medical science. For an example, amazing works are there. Even I am a medical entrepreneur, right? I used to create an AI virtual doctor. So many things are there. Oxygen detection by deep learning, brain tumor detection by deep learning, eye wall movement detection by deep learning. Many projects are there. Suppose you felt interested in, suppose you feel interest in studying. For an example, you have interest in literature, you can go for natural language processing, because there you can create a model that will be automatically read the text. You can create some models that will be chat with someone. You can create a model that will analyze the text and give it sentiment. This kind of things you can give. If you are interested in geography, though I am not, but I had to work, I was compelled to work on an economical project, geography or economics, then you can go to create a project. I am just giving my example of a project which I have worked on a US company with WRI at Omdena. So at that project, we was up to detecting the economical lineup. Means we are dealing with the problem of India, and we were up to detect which states of India is economically affected, and within that states, which portion is economically affected. We have to plot and segment out that particular portion from satellite imagery. This was our problem statement. World Resource Institute used to like give us the entire kind of sourcing on that project. So yeah, you can go for this kind of project in geographical part. So it is to my, so my my point is, in which domain you are interested, pick up the domain, try to create a problem is not stopping, problem is creating. Or if you cannot create a problem, go for the problem that is already over there on the internet, try to solve it. That is the how you can make a good project. So at least I used to tell, this is a 6 months plan. In this 6 months, you can at least one or two good projects. Now wait for these 6 months. You have to wait for the 6 months, because like it is YouTube platform. So I'm telling so much of carefully. A single course cannot help you out. A single thing cannot help you out. Some courses are paid, some courses are free. And if it is learning based, then it is very good. But learning the course which is actually give you knowledge from either very less cost or no cost. But otherwise don't waste money and time in it. Just a little thing. Many of you feel different logics and suggestions. You are done with that. Because for example, I don't have any certificate from Coursera and etc things. I don't have actually, but it never mattered in my case. So I also expect it will not matter in others. That's it. And okay, after this 6 months, when you are done with at least project and at least this kind of basic project and solution, now you can start going for some real world experiences or real life experiences. Again, it's up to you. Now there are 3 to 4 things before, because real life experiences, that means an internship, project based work, contract work, or whatever maybe it is little difficult to get, because they also suppose you to have any experience, or suppose your profile to be strong. Then how can you make your profile too strong? I'm simply telling about my strategies or whatever strategies my students have followed. So in these 6 months, will you be only keeping your project to you? So my answer is no. Whatever little thing you are making, whatever little thing you are making, six months, like a month is having 30 days, right? A month is having 30 days. So 6 cross 30, well, like 6 cross, suppose you are not forwarding for that kind of thing, suppose 100 days you are telling. I'm not telling about that 100 days challenge, but yeah, what I am telling is, just whatever little thing you are making, try to post it with a proper write up in a LinkedIn. Try to post it with a proper write up in LinkedIn. First thing, don't hanker. Many of the students, what they used to post something in LinkedIn and they used to hanker all around. Sir, please give me like. Sir, please give me like. Please give me recommendation. That will actually lead you nothing. Simply post. If it is worthy, if people feels it, automatically likes will come, and like doesn't matter, it's not a Facebook, right? Keep on posting. I bet after 6 months, if you continuously post your short projects, I bet after 6 months, or your learning experience, your profile will be strong equally in LinkedIn. Equally in LinkedIn, along with you will be having some set of short plus one at least project and a complete learning, right? Now, what's after this 6 months? What after this 6 months I have to do? Don't stop your learning again. When you are working, also keep on learning side by side. I also work and learn nowadays, right? Even I have learned today, because I was dealing with such a problem that was very difficult to solve. A very short hazy number I was trying to detect in my company where I used to work. So I was learning many algorithms for the last few days. Today I have learned a new algorithm, STN today, and how to implement it in this kind of problem. So even we all used to learn every day. So yeah, don't stop learning. That is the second thing. Next thing, in the field of machine learning specifically, I'm not telling for any other field. After this 6 months, how to go to any careeristic part. So in the career part, you have to do what? You have to specifically now, I guess many of the students used to apply on Internshala and etc. internship providing platform, but I don't find it properly worthy because there you need to have at least an experience, because there are some paid internships like where you will be getting paid at least a minimum money. So they expect something from your side also. So that is the case. So one thing I used to say, if you are don't keep the thing in your mind like the first internship will be a paid internship, right? If it is not also, but if it is giving you a proper knowledge, go for it, right? Understand the project in which you are getting placed and which kind of proper knowledge, whether they are giving you a proper knowledge or not. That's the most important thing. Now, well and enough, applying internships and getting an internships is again somehow luck and somehow your knowledge. But yeah, I will be giving you a strategy how to proceed with that, and I will be telling you some opportunities. So first, coming to an opportunities first, then strategy. Opportunities in the field of machine learning, I will be first telling out from my experience. I have worked with IIT Patna as winter AI intern. So for in the cases of IITs, IIT used to open two types of internships, summer and winter intern in a year. I am not telling mandatorily they open every year, but yeah, some all IITs doesn't open. For an example, IIT Delhi doesn't open, IIT Bombay doesn't open. Sometimes open, sometimes doesn't open. But yeah, some IITs like IIT Kanpur open summer and winter internship. Winter I don't know, summer they open. IIT Bhubaneswar open winter internship. IIT Ropar open winter internship, and IIT Patna also opens it. So you have to simply search over internet, check their timing, and apply in a proper time. They used to provide you a project-based work on project-based works on this kind of field. Now this is from the IIT or the government internships. Government internships actually matters much. Suppose you are unable to fetch or get that, or suppose maybe you have missed the deadline or your interview go wrong, etc., and you still dream to crack on any IIT internship, you can directly go for Internshala. They used to create open projects on Internshala. Open projects on Internshala. There you can also go and apply. That is actually open all over the year. This is another opportunity from the field of AI/ML. Yeah, another thing I want to tell like is something called as the India. Suppose coming from the non-paid based internships, then at least if you have a good project, at least one good project with a proper vision at that project. Proper vision at that project means you know your project's complexities, you at least had some difficult situation at your project and you have handled it. This is the criteria. You can go and apply at Omdena, right? Omdena. Omdena, it is a California based company. If like your approach, if they like your project, if they like how you tackle the problem, they will be offering you internship. It is completely a non-paid internship again, but yeah, it is very big internship because they used to collaborate with the leaders, NASA, WRI, ISRO, bigger and bigger companies like another open source company I cannot remember, active loop. Yeah, active loop, right? And I have seen many of the students is coming out of Ondina and getting into open source communities, because I also joined Omdena and right now I am in the community of active loop. Several other opportunities. Many a student I know, he was at my batch at Omdena, and he is right now placed at a data science intern at WRI. I know I cannot recall his name, but yeah, I know this kind of thing. So it's a very good opportunity. But this you need to have a good project with a proper vision of it. This you can go for. There is another company called as Fandex, which is near about Omdena, right? Near about same like Omdena, but yes, they also do the same thing. Yeah, apart from that, what will be or what will the start of your first internship is, cannot get this kind, you cannot get IIT, you cannot this get kind of internships project based. So you can start freelancing in machine learning. Freelancing in machine learning, again, you are not approaching anyone and hankering, sir, give me project, bhaiya, give me project, hey friend, give me project. This will not. How to help? You can create a what I have seen my friend, he had started like this. You can just You can just go at the sites like Upwork, Toptal, Freelancer. Rather than going to Upwork or Toptal, you can start at freelancer.com. You can provide machine learning freelancing over there. Pick up the machine learning and create a profile of that. It will be giving you more and opportunities in an upcoming days. That is a way you can also start. Another way, I have seen many students, but this way I used to find little risky, because some companies, I want to name the companies like Sparks Foundation, Philanthropics, this kind of companies. There are some other names also. I cannot remember the names properly right now, but yeah, these companies also provide internships, again unpaid. But yeah, experience is really very pretty cool. But yes, you can also apply for them. It will be very a short span internship they will be providing you. But yes, remember one thing: whatever internship is, first internship is all about your learning. And if your luck is very good, then you will be getting a very big first internship. This is the way you can start. Another way there is, I have found, or how I started with very small hackathon. After making short project, I participated on hackathons. Keep on going hackathons, or at least now online, I participate at online hackathons. In whenever you are going to hackathons, it is the most important thing of your career. This is the second way to start your like developer's life. Go on hackathons, at least make projects. And remember one thing: hackathons doesn't means like one of my friend who sits behind me, he is hosting a hackathon and I am giving my 100% at the person hackathons. And you are thinking like, after this hackathons my project will be wah wah wah. No, it's not nothing like that. Yeah, it is very good to participate, but you have to know some basic criteria. What is the weightage of the particular hackathons, how to check the weightage. I generally prefer MLH hackathons. Generally, I prefer MLH hackathons because the journey is really exciting. It's something like, yeah, because I have spent a hackathon at Delhi Hack VSIT. It was completely a sponsored MLH hackathon, and it's something like an experience like, oh my god, it's a very whole night coding experience. So, and they used to provide an amazing experience, hoodies, swags. Right now, I have someone, before I have mentored a hackathon. It is also being hosted by MLH. They, after a month, they simply send hoodies to my house, right? So this kind of exciting things you can get, swags you can get out of the hackathon. So yes, start on participating hackathons. And when you are going to participate in the hackathons, don't feel whether you are getting first or last, because I never came first in any hackathon, first frankly speaking. So but what I learned from any hackathon is, a hackathon means, why I prefer MLH hackathons, it is a pure level technical hackathon. Pure level technical hackathon. Why? Because they used to bring some speakers. Even I am going to present a speech at Hacknagapur this Monday, 26 December. So they used to go. They used to keep on bringing the good speakers. Used to try to create. Suppose it is 36 hours hackathon. Try to make a open source environment. So you will be networking with a much amount of people. You will be coming across several speakers who will be speaking about several techies. Several techies. It's not your class work, or it is not your class lecture that you are simply joining the lecture and going for a speak. It's not nothing like that. You can go, you can enjoy. And yeah, one thing you can learn is, try to learn about the technologies they are speaking. Whatever open source, because I can remember the first hackathon I have participated is Chandigarh's Cyber hackathon, police hackathon. From there, I have came across many logics from cybersecurity, many logics from machine learning. As a second hackathon at Hack VSIT, I was pretty unknown with Docker. I was pretty unknown to Kubernetes. It was a complete open source hackathon. There, from there, I know how to deal with that. Even I was pretty unsure with many parts at ML open source. From there, I used to came to know, and then I came to know, and then I used, and then I brushed up my concept. So it helped me actually. So these things you can start hackathon after making good projects at 1 or 3 or 4 hackathons. You can collaborate. Now, what are another way to start? Another way is to start is keep on participating in open source. Open source is something like, it is not a game of 1 day or 2 day fame. You might see like many LinkedIn profiles, maybe your friends of friends is doing an internship at a very short company, but you might feel, yeah, that person is having internship, I don't have an internship. Don't worry. If you are an open source contributor, then your fame will be 10 times more after certain amount of day. So to start a career at open source, many of the people find Hacktoberfest. You can go with Hacktoberfest, you can go with 24 pull requests that happens in December. I'm pretty unsure this year it is happening or not. You can go for GSOCs. For the GSOCs, you have to need a some kind of previous experience. You can go for a code chef summer of code CSOC. CSOC is their code chef summer of code. We started to organize it from last year 2009 2020, right? I organized the Chandigarh. So yeah, for code chef summer of code, you can go for DevScript winter of code. These things are all open source, and even you can participate at LA's local hack day. So these things you can participate along with. If you are a freelance, if you don't want to participate, simply search for some sites which is called Issue Hub. Issue Hub. I cannot recall all names. Yeah, Issue Hub, something called as Grabs, something like Grabs, pull requests. There are open source sites. You can go with that issue hubs, search for the open issues over there, which kind of issues are open. Maybe it is a very small repository, but at least try to collaborate. So if you are contributing to anyone's repository regulate in a regular fashion, you might see your GitHub curve will be in a hype. So this is some ways to start your journey. And side by side in machine learning, I personally feel like if you indulge with any communities like maybe GIRLSCRIPT, maybe Code Chef chapters, etc., that might be well. And keep on learning, keep on deploying your projects mainly. And yeah, another most important thing I want to tell: LinkedIn used to help us more. It's nothing like by like before I have seen a roast of TAMANNA. He's telling LinkedIn a person is writing a single definition in couples of way, like designer, engineer, product designer, like this. Don't use kind of things in LinkedIn. Yeah, why LinkedIn is helpful? LinkedIn, you can network at least with people, right? Network at least with people. You can message a recruiter. You can try to connect with good people. Like I don't know I'm good or bad at LinkedIn, but yeah, I keep on posting at some opportunities on LinkedIn. Like I have seen many of people keep on good opportunities at LinkedIn. Try to apply an opportunity no matter whether your opportunity is rejected at any first shot or not. Because I am right now working at a US company. At a very starting a year back when I was applying to foreign internships, I was rejected for 15 times. I can remember 15 times I was rejected. Right. So it's not a matter, but yeah, it's a very good to, like, whenever you're applying to an internship to a good company, they used to write why you are getting rejected, because I have seen at many cases. So yeah, when they're giving you a note why you are getting rejected, just simply go on that. This is the really a very pretty cool out way to just learn and keep on learning, keep on developing. Don't get stressed out, and yeah, devote your time on LinkedIn, but in a proper way. Another thing I want to tell everyone, what are the great blunders in resume making? Because when I was hiring students at my startup, so people like they had a very basic project, weather prediction by linear regression, going to apply for a machine learning job. You are not highlighting skills, you are not writing anything about your project and telling I have made this simple project and I want to be a ML developer. That things are pretty dangerous. That things are pretty dangerous. Obviously, will be getting rejected because it is not creating an impression on me, right? So be like, making a resume impressive doesn't mean you are painting your resume in several colors. It means what knowledge you have. Maybe you don't have any experience, but you have knowledge. Try to show your knowledge in your resume, maybe through projects, maybe by writing it. This thing actually helps you, right? This thing actually help you. And I have told you how to start your journey. This is the cool way out, like that will be helping everyone. And something more I want to share for the projects: keep on making it. GitHub repositories, GitHub curves, everything will highlights a lot. And at least, yeah, another thing I want to tell, like in many of the students I have seen, I'm not want to take this opportunity. Suppose the person is having zero opportunity at his resume, but still he is getting an opportunity and failing. I asked why, because he's telling like, this opportunity is a very small opportunity. I don't want to go it, because there is a time I want to tell my experience specifically in the COVID-19 period when it just started. I left my previous company Medvi, and in that particular time gap, I had really nothing with me. Even doing a IIT internship, after working at a company, I had nothing in my hand, nothing in my hand. means no compare, every where I am applying, everyone is rejecting. So there a little chance I got from a very small consultancy, Honkers, a very small consultancy, like little startup, Honkers. So there I worked, and then after that, opportunities after opportunities. So don't matter, no matter whatever opportunity you're having, short or big or small, anything, just grab it up, try to learn out of any adverse situation, and it's all about, and innovate, develop your skills. It's all about from my side. Now open to queries. Yeah. Yes. Implementing algorithm is or does this mean write algorithm like linear regression from scratch without using any predefined libraries? And see, it's a way of learning. That means, because for this, many of the people feel like I'm writing it without using anything. Many of the people think calling it from scalar. It doesn't have, again, learning is like, I can tell you the way of learning. The way implementation of your learning is completely on your hand. Whatever you are feeling that it will be helping you to learn, it's completely on your brain. There is no hard and fast rule. That's all about. You mentioned mini program like creating code from HTML in a specific language. I have a code maybe wireframes. Did you face anything? Sorry, can I get the question? You mentioned a mini project like creating code from HTML in a specific language. HTML to code, yes. I have a problem or project statement like create code from HTML mockups. Maybe like, yeah, there is a Python library which automatically, there is a, though it is a development, it is not in a so big of phases, but yeah, they used to convert the things. There is a converter library specifically. You can refer it at Python Gigs. Python Gigs, the project is already there, HTML to code. Sir, can you give the name of that AWS tutorial instead? I haven't checked it out. Just let me check. I can give you 1 second. Just more queries expecting. You are getting more queries. Just let me check that kind of gifts to begin with the ML projects. Uh, well, ML projects, like if you're up to beginning with the ML projects, then it's again your what domain you want to work. And if you don't have any domain in your mind, then for me, first start with prediction domain. And some tips you want specifically on projects. So I will be telling, because computer vision is still needs some innovative project ideas. Like you can work on object detection projects. Object detection, like not like any object that is going, or that you can easily detect, right? Very easily detect that kind of objects. Objects don't need to detect. You need to detect some things, like suppose there is a running object at high speed, you want to detect it. That kind of projects you can try to detect. Try to make some projects in the medical domain, because medicals actually need your help. We need your help, right? So like analyzing anyone's sentiment by the facial expression. Or if you're studying in an educational systems, then try to detect the cheating, try to detect the eye movement. Suppose there is a drunken driver, try to detect whether the driver is drowsy or not. So if the driver is drowsy, then automatically car will detect the driver's eye and get stopped, right? Suppose there is a new project, very new problem statement is there, like it is called a smart fridge. Japan is also working on that particular project. That means there is a certain temperature in a fridge after which the bacteria dies. So can you make such kind of machine learning model that will be automatically detecting temperatures? So that kind of thing you can go for. Okay, next question, sir. Please explain once max pooling. Yeah, sure. I will be explaining. What do you suggest for people who are planning a transition from other development backgrounds or a manager positions? Dialog flow, into capture data and how implementation will work. Okay. Yeah. So first comes in the max polling layer. So because it was speaking about the max polling. So what do you mean by polling first? So in the case of the polling again, sorry, in the case of the polling again, suppose you're having a class of 70 students, and your 70 students is talented students, but your teacher needs super talented students. For that reason, the teacher want to cluster out some kind of students out of the 70 students. But since everyone is talented, there might be a fine division in between each of them. Then how a teacher will say student is mostly talented and whom with I can perform the upcoming days. So on that case, he will apply the logic of polling. That means it will be segmenting out a group of students out of the bunch and simply training the further process with that particular students. So this is the way. Now, what do you mean by the max polling? There is something logic called as a batch normalization afterwards. But yeah, what do you mean by the max polling? Max polling layer is a specific layer in the case of the CNN models, which specifically uses this logic of this segmenting out. Right, but nowadays how this kind of segmentation happens in the case of the max pooling, that means that kind of features which have a maximum similarity index at a very layman's language and implementational topic, that's having some kind of maximal similarity index. Suppose you are having a set of 15 features, out of 10 is the maximum similarity index they are having. That means there might be very fine difference in between these two, right? So this is all about max pooling layer and specially defined. What do you suggest for people who are planning a transition from other development background or manager positions? Other development background means suppose you're coming from any front end. In the case of the front end, yeah, then if you are coming from any web development industry, or if you are already a web developer, then learn TensorFlow JS, because you already know JavaScript. For if you want to shift in machine learning, learn TensorFlow JS specifically, and specifically that will be simply helping you, right? And you will be amazing machine learning developer, and it is right now in hype, right? It is right now in hype, TensorFlow JS. Okay, so that you can do. And even right now, a CodeChef is carrying out a CodeChef Chandigarh, a few coders is carrying out a course of TensorFlow JS, TFJS. So you can also enroll it. You can find a link at my LinkedIn. And yeah, TensorFlow JS you can. TensorFlow JS is the most important thing for machine learning developers. So sorry for the web developers to land in ML. Yeah, again, if you are coming from Android industry, then you have to know TensorFlow Lite, right? You have to know TensorFlow Lite. You have to know Firebase ML Kit. You have to know Azure ML, at least Azure or AWS ML, any of them, because Android it actually supports, and ML Kit actually comes. So this kind of things. If you are coming from background like just if you're coming from any other backgrounds, like apart from Android and web development, suppose you are coming from a background like managing positions, like you told, then in management obviously you have to know from scratch, because there, I guess, I don't know, maybe in MBA syllabus there is Python. I don't know in all colleges, but in our college there is Python. Yeah, if you're coming from management or managerial positions, then you know how to code and all kind of things. If you already know, then you have to also start from the scratch of machine learning, right? And other positions like development backend is already linked with AIML. If also in AIML you need to know backend development, that kind of shift. So at least you have to know what kind of shift in tech stacks you need to have. Okay, I mean, how to capture data and how the implementation works. Yeah, how to capture a data means it depends upon your problem. Like to collect your DB, to do the exploratory data analysis. Suppose you are working with image processing problem, so you have a choice, like whether I will be inputting any real time image or I will be working with any video, right? So this is your choice. So data capturing is completely your choice, and based on a background research, there is no again hard and fast rule to deal with that. And yeah, and how the implementation works, so like the way I have suggested right now, like, is completely, you have to understand the problem, you have to fix up a pure algorithm. First you have to work on algorithm, you have to test his output. If the output is going bad, you have to check with other models as well. So this is the way, it's all about test run, right? You have to run and run and run, and you have to test your speed every time. How can we use Dialogflow and what to use? Dialogflow API, GCP, you have Dialogflow API, GCP, Google Cloud. So in Google Cloud, you have the Dialogflow API, because I used to use Dialogflow on GCP. And other platforms like, I guess, there is a platform, Nanonets, they used to support Nanonets. From there, you can get free. I don't know free, it is free or not, but they used to give Dialogflow API. You can get from GCP. You can GCP, yeah, for the GCP you will be getting some free credits, because if you enter any of cohorts at Quick Labs, so there you can get free credits at GCP. So GCP you can use that kind of GCP. Nanonets, from there you can just directly fetch it out, Another site is there which used to give on the machine learning APIs. I not remember the particular site name. So yeah, so mainly GCP and Nanonets. From these two sites, from Nanonets I guess paid, and GCP actually paid, but yeah, you can access some credits out of Quick Lab and just use that particular API. Okay. Any other questions and any other query? Any other query? Any other query? Like more queries, open to more queries. If you have more and more and more, just keep on asking because we have the time. And again, most important thing, mostly importantly, you have to flow it and keep on learning, right? So you have to learn all around, and you have to implement good projects out of it, because it will be only helping you in the field of AI. Yeah. If you have more queries, you can ask. Just I am telling the name of the particular YouTube tutorial. Just a second. Yeah, I'm telling about them. Yeah, Vijay. Yes, exactly. Vijay something. Uh, the 6 month plan which you gave is good for college persons. How about some experienced people? Any specific strategy? For experienced people is again, if you are, it's really difficult to manage a very big time when you are working somewhere. Even I used to feel like that, because it's really very pretty difficult if you are already working. uh, it's completely depend on your efforts that you can give in a day. That means how much time you can manage, because after a work or a work from home specifically, we all get stressed out. So that is a way thing. And yeah, for experienced people, I guess the planner, or what kind of planner I used to provide is, when you are experienced on some programming, so you don't need to waste a very big time on the programming languages again and again specifically. So that you can do as well, that you can at least relate the concept. So you can directly start with algorithms. Knowing the algorithm, that means at least at a very important part, right? Knowing the algorithm and go on implementing. So what you have to do is specifically some sort of overwork actually, because no other way out. Like, there is nothing smart work here. There is nothing smart work here. But yeah, what you can do is to start with algorithms directly, because as if an experienced people is having the idea about technologies, idea about the data structures, idea about that kind of things. So yeah, so you can just cut out the timing and cut out the things, but other rest thing or rest steps will be the same. Sir, which cloud platform is best? Whether AWS? It's a very, very $1 question, $1 billion question, because every cloud has some kind of quality and some kind of problems. For an example, for machine learning, I feel it is still AWS for machine learning. For API based deployments, for API specifically, for generally we all prefer AWS. We all prefer AWS generally, but only AWS you can go when you have a full pocket, because AWS costing is a little bad, a little more. Because why AWS? Because AWS supports advanced APIs, AWS supports advanced in instance management, AWS supports advanced machine learning deployment, right? Advanced machine learning deployment. So generally, in general, I am answering AWS, but in more deeper, every cloud have some qualities and some problems, right? GCP's very good thing is like the API support. Azure is still there. I haven't worked much on Azure, but I work GCP and AWS. So on that case, I want to tell. Sir, give me some tips for a gap in career, please. It gap will create a problem to jobs. I doesn't feel like career gap will be a problem, but yeah, it is again a thing. It depends on the nature of company you are applying. because different companies have different mindset. But if you are working on a, if you are going to apply on a product based company specifically, they doesn't deal it to be something like a career gap or in which field you are or in which particular stage you are right now. But yeah, they generally go for your skills, they generally go for your experience, or they generally go for your skills and development procedures. But yeah, it again depends on what kind of company. Generally it doesn't gives a very big problem, but it is again depends on company, depends on the job role, everything. There are some several types of parameters. So in development, specifically for a developer role, career gap means like a career shift is problematic. Career gap when you are not working somewhere, so you might be doing something. You are not sitting idle at home. You might be doing something. So what you are doing, why you are doing, if you have specific reasons to write in the resume or to present in front of the recruiter, I guess it will be obviously it is not a problem. In AI, basically what we need to cover, what we have to cover in AI. So the cover like in AI, if you are telling about the entire AI, then specifically machine learning, deep learning, that kind of things. So I have told it today also. In artificial intelligence, that means if you want to be a full stack part of the AI/ML, then you can go for the virtual reality, augmented reality, virtual reality. You can make by using Adobe. There is a studio, there's Adobe Spark AR Studio. You can use create that kind of virtual and augmented reality. You can learn Unity. You can learn Blender. It's really pretty amazing. So you can learn Blender. You can learn Unity. You can integrate your machine learning model with Unity apps. You can create an augmented reality virtual conversations. That kind of very big things you can make. It's artificial intelligence. If you are working on IoT end, right, IoT plus artificial intelligence, that means hardware based artificial intelligence, then you have to know a basic circuit designs. That you can also hire developers. But yeah, in concepts, in AI concepts, in AI the concepts, like, can you please little bit elaborate your question in AI the concepts? Like, then let me jump to the next query. How do you see the kind of competition on Kaggle or Analytics India? Are they good? Yeah. Analytics India, I don't know, but Analytics India we generally doesn't come across so much, because but generally Kaggle, yeah, it's pretty cool, because Kaggle is a platform. Kaggle is a platform. Like, if you keep on developing on Kaggle. In Kaggle, also you are given a problem statement. You are given with some data. You are given with the entire raw thing, right? You are given with the raw thing, and you have to implement your logic and that kind of things on it. That's it. If it is accepted, it will be giving you ranking. It will be giving you some kind of fame, right? So Kaggle, obviously, you know that guy. I guess everyone knows it. I know many of the Kaggle handmasters, and they also Kaggle profile also helps to get into jobs and etc. things. So yeah, Kaggle is pretty cool. Okay, so another question I have seen end-to-end projects, and from ML perspective, knowing any only algos is not enough. Some bit of DevOps, yeah, DevOps, Cloud, Spark, visualization, all. Yeah, perfect. Everything is required, because machine learning doesn't means I know only algorithm. Machine learning means you should have an idea of DevOps, because DevOps, though, in any development you go, any development nowadays, DevOps is the part of our development culture. So anything, anywhere where you go, you have to, at least you have to know Docker. So that is the important thing. Sparks, so obviously, because I know I have made a project during COVID-19, that is my cohort project specifically. So generally, generally not a college project. I can't remember the name. There we had worked on the integrated script of Python R script. We have used on a single script Python and R, and we had used model from Facebook Prophet model to detect the COVID-19 prediction. Also, the algorithm we had chooses Kalman filters, right? So on that kind of high type of work, we had taken help from Spark container. It's called Spark ML container. So yeah, power of Java is also helped us in that case. So yeah, everything is there. Visualization, exploratory data analysis, all about. Hmm. Now, career gap is still a very diplomatic question to answer, because it's completely dependent again upon the company. From my process, which hackathons can we appear now? Yeah, if you want to appear in any sort of hackathon, you can search for the hackathons at mlh.io. because MLAs used to show what kind of hackathons they are sponsoring, or you can directly go to Google and search for MLA hackathons. They will be showing you. You can also participate at MLA's local hack this. Every week they have some hackathons. You can participate. Yeah, I used to find the best place to find any of the high level hackathons, and specifically MLA hackathons is Devfolio. Devfolio, DEVFOLIO, Devfolio. So right now a hackathon is going to happen in this month, is like Hack Nagpur. There you can also participate, and yeah, Hack Nagpur, Devfolio, MLH.io, and these two sites is pretty okay. And yeah, obviously, Siva, you don't need to be so much frustrated out, because career gap is, again, you have to test your luck, because you have to test your luck, try to grow some skills, and just try to again reapply. I hope like you will be getting selected, because this is not a very big case. That's it. So yeah, any other more query? And if it is also career gap, you can start your freelancing. Keep on freelancing. Something or something experiences will be helping you, because it doesn't matter actually. But like if you are thinking like if it is mattering, so it will be harming you, and you cannot get it. It is also doesn't matter, then it will keep starting mattering. So you have to do to and to have to nourish you. So that will be helping. Any other more query? Like any other more query you can ask, or you can keep me connected with me at my LinkedIn, Anustup Mukherjee, and you can also find me on GitHub, Anustup 900. Anustup 900 is my GitHub ID. Same LinkedIn, Anustup Mukherjee. You can find. You can also search Anustup Mukherjee on Google. You will be finding my LinkedIn at the very first link. That's it. Yeah. Thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed this 5 days bootcamp. How do you approach freelance? Freelance project is like, if you are coming to the site, I have pretty small experience with freelancing, freelancer.com or upwork.com. In the freelancing projects, like as a freelancer, when I approach any freelancing project, or when I used to approach any freelancing project out of bounds, then I used to find a site that is called as a super prof. There you can do a project advertisement. Freelance, there you can also do a project advertisement. These two sites. So whenever someone approach me or I approach someone, I used to see which project I am going to work. Like what is the need, what is the tech stack, and what is the tech stack the person is wanting, what is the problem statement on which the person is expecting me to work. If I find problem statement right, and sometimes, yeah, when I need money, then obviously I will be developing anything. But generally, we don't do that. Generally, when we find the problem statement is proper, we go for that. That's it. What pressure in ML with any other domain? Any other domain means if you can make augmented reality apps, Android apps. You can make ML Android apps. ML Android apps like means you can take the example of machine learning Android apps. Suppose you had made a complete machine learning networking system. You had made machine learning health app, that kind of things you can make by Android. In the websites, so innumerable projects. Simple search TensorFlow.js. It's in TensorFlow.js. There is a repository on Google, on GitHub. The repository name is Pramuta, yeah, something 9. I cannot recall the name. Pramuta, PRA something 9. She used to have several machine learning websites by using TensorFlow.js. Face mesh, virtual reality, object detection in a single website. Everything is there. That things. And for IoT, you can right now you can search for OpenCV IoT projects as YouTube. You can get some examples like OpenCV controlled remote control car. OpenCV controlled remote control car, or OpenCV controlled object detecting car. This kind of things you can find it. For IoT, you can just embed it into Raspberry Pi or any OpenCV script by using, yeah, OpenCV. You can also code OpenCV in C++. And if you are going to Arduino, then you need to code it in C++. So you can write a C++ code of OpenCV over there also. So resume profile. Just you can send the link on the chat box, so I can confirm. I can confirm. I can confirm. If you just send the link over the chat box, then I can confirm it with you whether it is my profile or not.
So I hope all the queries are now answered by Mr. Anustup Mukherjee. And thank you, sir, for giving your valuable time for 5 days. And I would also like to thank the audience who attended this boot camp for 5 days continuously. And since we have received any positive feedback for the boot camp, so thank you so much for for giving such an informative boot camp. I personally found it very, very informative. And to the audience, please fill the feedback form so that we can organize more such events for you in the future. And yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Okay, bye. Okay, so yeah, I hope all of you will fill the feedback form. And I hope since we got very good feedback about this bootcamp, so in future we will try to organize more such informative bootcamps for all of you. And yeah, okay. So thank you everyone for
Uh,
waiting patiently for 5 days and attending the bootcamp.
hello, hello. My name is Amitesh Tiwari. I'm the regional head of GIRLSCRIPT Punjab. I saw your question that I think it was to get a feel of ML project, probably a statement, maybe the working on the some data analysis project will be helpful. Yeah, definitely. And second questions, others Prasad, can we go for the Udacity scholarship? Yes, you can go for a Udacity scholarship. I think various scholarship in the 2021 will be launched and nano degree. And the filling form in Udacity is quite uh, you, matlab logical. It should be very logical what you are filling the form. And lots of people where will be wrong because they don't know about more deeply, but they fill the form that they know these things very deeply. And they know like ML they give 4 by 5, and the thing will matter. So I will suggest you, please go Quora answer how you can fill the form for Udacity scholarship. It will be very helpful to all of you. And so if you have any questions, you can just comment on box. We will try to give the answer. If you have any questions, otherwise we will end this boot camp. Okay, thank you very much. And
Thank you so
yeah,
much everyone.
yeah,
Amitesh, I think there's a question here.
okay.
It's regarding
Madam,
the
you have been studied a feedback from madam. It's so December 14. Today date. No, no, no. I think it will be mistake. No, no. You can fill the form. I will change the date. We will change the date. Don't worry. You have to fill the form. We will take your email. On the basis of your email, we will provide certificate. The person who attended this webinar only get the certificate. I think, according to me, 12 to 15% are eligible for certificate. So don't worry, just fill the form. I will take as a positive review. And the email ID is very uh, crucial for us that who fill the form. So don't worry, the 14 and 15 date is not matter. I think due to mistake. Okay.
Okay, so there is another question from others that how can we get the updates for boot camps from GIRLSCRIPT Foundation? So for that you can stay. You can follow our Instagram handle and we'll keep you updated through our social media handles. You can come to know about our future events and all the boot camps we'll organize. So I think that's all for the questions. I hope all your queries are answered now. Okay, so yeah, Mitesh, I think we can sign off now.
Okay. Yeah, for if you have any doubt and query, just follow the Instagram channel of GIRLSCRIPT Chandigarh. Okay, thank you very much to all of you. Thank you, Pratibha, for your
Okay, thank you so much.